So, were you ever scared of math during your school time? Anyone? Okay, okay. Uh, any one of you have experienced anxiety in math during math exams? Well, I did. Wow. So, you're not alone because I was one of the among you all. And this is why, uh, you know, this is the reason what I do and why I do. And I want to take you to the journey how in Pratham Education Foundation, from last 3 years, we are trying to design an inquiry-based pedagogy to understand what could be the most effective way to teach mathematics in early years from age 3 to 8, which is pre-primary, and grade 1 and 2, which is also the FLN age. Okay. So often number understanding is misunderstood as number recognition. So this I experienced, when I was talking to my master trainers in the classroom, and they would say that, my children know numbers up to 50. And I would ask, what do you mean by they know numbers up to 50? So they would say, they can recognize numbers, they can write 50. But then I asked, do they actually understand what 50 means? What is the relationship of 50 with other numbers? And I could just hear silence from the other side. Math is often also misunderstood as just number understanding, whereas spatial understanding is an equivalent important aspect of it. So, when children do not get such opportunities in the early years, they develop a fear of math and anxiety. So, I think this also allows us to question the curriculum gaps which still exist in India, and especially in terms of early years. NEP 2020, NCF, FS 2022, both policy and the framework emphasizes exploratory, activity-based, play-based curriculum for early years. And they also suggest that math games should be played. So the question is, how can we design an effective curriculum for early years? Now we know there are existing gaps. Can we leverage what cognitive research or what cognitive development literature has to say about how children learn math in early years? So, according to a lot of researchers, they say children have innate ability to learn, and they are sensitive towards quantities and space around them since the time they're born. If you have experienced toddlers around you, they would know when to stop because there's a wall. They can always identify which is more and less, even though none of us have taught them, something about space or the numbers. Still, they are sensitive towards it. Now the question is how? Because they have the innate ability to do so. So the world of math is, dealing with estimation and approximation and exact things. For example, let's say what time is this session at 2, and if I ask you how much time it would take me to reach to Bavdhan. So a lot of people would say, roughly 20 to 25 minutes if you get a cab. So that is approximation and estimation. And when I'm talking about what time the session is, that is the exact time, which is 2. So this is what we do in math in all the concepts. And it's high time that we understand math is just not limited to any subject. It is everywhere, no matter what we do, from smallest to biggest thing, we use these skills directly or indirectly. So you can see there how number understanding is related to comparing the larger sets and also comparing the exact set, exact number. And if you know how your space is formed, for example, how this space is formed, you would know your space better and you would be communicated better. And spatial understanding, higher spatial understanding leads to higher number understanding. Often this connection is also missing from the classrooms. So now, um, There's this Professor Elizabeth Spelke. She's a cognitive psychologist from Harvard, MIT. She has designed math games. And Pratham, in partnership with JPAL, is piloting this math game curriculum in three states: Punjab, Himachal, and Delhi. The objective of these pilots is to understand these games better and to scale up these games into these states at government level. And the entire project is from 2022 to 2025. Now, what are math games? Math games are card based curriculum which are designed to improve children's numeral and spatial understanding by developing upon their intuitive knowledge in an informal way. These games are designed for the age group of 4 to 7 years. These games help to bridge the gap between concrete and abstract understanding, as these are card games. There is material for both teacher and children. Children play these games in groups, and the process is I do, we do, you do. And they get a lot of print exposure because of these games. So as you see, there are these four games. Two of the games, number comparison and find and move, focuses on number understanding, and find shapes and reading maps focuses on spatial understanding. Now, this entire project, we are doing it in phases, and right now we have completed phase 3, and we are moving towards phase 4. Phase 1 was just about understanding these games. If these games, um, uh, our master trainers were just trying to understand these games along with us. Phase 2 was understanding the possibilities of integration. And now in phase 3, we figured out all the possibilities from phase 2 and tried to make an integrated curriculum which we piloted. And conclusions of the phase 3 helped us to design the kit, which we are in a process of scaling up to the government in both Punjab and Himachal, because we have statewide partnership there. Now, if I talk about challenges from phase 1 and 2, the kit was very costly. So if I'll talk about, if I need to play this game with 20 children, the cost was around 20,000, which we all know is not feasible for government-run schools at all. And material handleability and manageability was another issue. So there were total 64 decks in this curriculum for all the 4 games for an year to children to play. And there are already existing TLM in the classroom, and we know there are classes which are very small. So there was definitely, we can't take this much of material to the school at scale up level, and alignment with policies. So there were a lot of concepts which are higher than what our state and what our national curriculum suggests. So there was another problem, that how do we align this? Why would government would accept it? So these were some of the challenges that we faced during the phases. And after solving, some of these challenges and exploring what could be the possible solutions, we came to phase 3. So in phase 1 and phase 2, we just had 13 classes across all the 3 states. In phase 3, we extended these pilots to 47 classes, and we sort of designed a curriculum which had, again, a lot of concrete experiences, and where children used to play cards. We had quick games, so something that we sort of introduced to help children and facilitators to understand, when is the time I need to play another game? When is the time I can introduce another game? So, which helped our master trainers to understand their pace of classroom on their own. So teachers were taking the lead, and we were just supporting them during these pilots, and we also tried to integrate this with the textbook in grade 1, because we all know how much textbook is important for grade 1, especially in terms of government. So if I talk about some behavioral learnings from phase 3, even though there are a lot of diversity variations in all the 3 places, Delhi, Punjab, and Himachal, we could see that children were facing similar conceptual, barriers in understanding the concepts, especially the concept of 0, the concept of 10, and shapes orientation, etc. However, when we gave them this kind of intervention, where they were dealing with this again and again. They had concrete exposure, they had card exposure, they had games exposure, and they were also doing and practicing it with their textbook. So I think this really helped them to understand these concepts in more depth during all the time. So now, when the teacher and the children share the shared responsibility of learning, I think they both feel intrinsic motivated towards learning, which we could see in the classroom. And we realized that, it's not just, I mean, only making curriculum would not solve the problem. But what kind of strategies are you using? What activities are you using at what time? What material are you using? What instructions are you using? This sums up the class and activities, and this leads to an effective learning. So now this is the baseline and endline data, which, even though we reduced and cut down a lot of math games material, but we didn't give up on its essence. We added a lot of other experiences and other activities, which showed us a major, major learning impact in both the grades of KG and grade 1. So we tested their estimation skills, their intuitive skills, as well as the skills that they have developed during the pilot. And we could see the huge major changes throughout this pilot. Now, we understood that, only scaling up this TLM would not help us to bring this change into the system. We realized that we need to sort of scale up this understanding that how children should learn math in itself. So let's say from the learnings of phase 3, we redesigned these games and we created a common school kit. So if we compare it to the previous cost, earlier it was costing around 20,000 for 20 children. Now we designed a common kit. Common kit is for both pre-primary and grades 1 and 2, and it is costing around 2,500 with packaging at scale. And we are still trying to see if there is any other version which we can create. We are still in the process. And then, so directly, we have also created a common tool for evaluation. So we know there's already, Pratham uses a Continuum tool in collaboration with government. We realized there is no way we can have another tool to test this. So we have added some questions in the Continuum tool. So we are not just integrating the curriculum, but also the assessment. And we are still in the process of doing so. Now, if I talk about how we are scaling up this understanding, as of now, we have, right now, Punjab and Himachal is going through their curriculum review in early years. So we have integrated this understanding in their pre-primary curriculum. They have a day-wise planner. So we have not just added these games, but also the other activities along in the curriculum, and also in Punjab grade 1 and 2 textbooks. So we have totally designed those textbooks and added these concepts. We have also, currently we are reviewing Himachal pre-primary curriculum. So Balvatika 3 is being added in Himachal. And this is why we have been creating entire curriculum for Balvatika 1, 2, 3. We're trying to build this understanding and taking it there. Now, we are also doing SALT in Andhra, and we are responsible for creating teacher training modules for Anganwadi workers in grades 1 and 2, where we have also written chapters which will take this understanding, and it will also impact to bigger, at bigger levels. So this is how we are trying to scale up in a sustainable way. And we are also in the process of creating a low cost and no cost model. We are aiming that, because of material, just because there is no material and let's say a particular school cannot afford material, it doesn't mean that children should not learn the way they should. So this is our continuous journey of scaling up at sustainability level. Thank you so much. I think I was shivering entirely, so you can see how math has been affecting throughout my life. But I've been extremely thankful, and yeah. Any questions?
Yes. Questions please to her.
and the easier one so that she doesn't shiver more. Sorry? So, yeah, it was, we did this intervention for almost 4 months. So, I'll tell you, the phase 3 started in October and we did our endline in Jan. So, it was just 4 months.
Okay, and it was uniform across like 4 months for all, like
Yeah.
parallelly in all the states.
Yeah.
And do you have different results for different states?
Yeah.
Like which
Here I
states?
don't have, but I can share. We have different results for different states. This we have tried to show in cumulative, but we have different results for different states. So we are primarily we are focusing on 4 to 7, which is Balvatika 3 to grade 1. But now that we are also part of curriculum, this is something that we have piloted on. There is this recent pilot that we have started in Anganwadi very recently. We have just started piloting, so we are very curious to see, because see, in India it's it's a multi-grade classroom, right? So we are trying to see how we can integrate those challenges, and we are looking forward to it. And we have already started to getting good responses from the pilot itself. So right now, as of now, we have results from age 4 to 7, which is mostly LKG, UKG, and grade 1. But for nursery, we have started the pilots.
Hi, Swati. We Center for Learning Resources is one of the organizations I represent, and we actually did pilot math games. So, from that experience, I have a question for you. From across the board, where you've piloted it with the Anganwadis, what has been some of your learnings around working with the Anganwadi worker, given the limited understanding and background around language and math in general? We have just started piloting it, and we are right now piloting it with our people, and they will be giving trainings to Anganwadi workers. So I think as of now we don't have a lot of concrete experience, but I think we can stay in touch, and in a collaborative way we can continuously share our learnings in future.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. So I just have one question. So when you show the N-line and baseline, do you have data also for control schools?
Yeah, we
Okay.
do have.
Okay, so it is like it.
Because we did it in we didn't do a control group in phase 1 and phase 2, but we did it for phase 3 because we wanted to check, how much difference it is creating. So we do have.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Swati. Yeah. To you, one of my observation to your thing is that you see in the pre, when children are really young, in the pre maths and the pre number concepts, when we teach them those things, right? So maths and the approximation and estimation used to be the favorite subjects and favorite things for children, right from the 9 months of age, when they start experiencing the depth perception, and up to the again later period of infancy and those things. And as you see that you have given a very good example that how experiential learning again can be incorporated into the preschool and the Anganwadi centers, right? So as you see, when this thing, the theory become ingrained with practice, it's always good to have these things, right? The picture cards and the activity cards that you have mentioned, right? My concern remains that how Anganwadi workers are trained enough to use those cards, right? And how do they feel it? Do they feel it as a burden? Do they feel it as a TLM, as a supportive system to them, right? So that may come from your research that you are doing, right? And we'll be happy to hear about that thing.
I think we, as an organization itself, I'm just taking another minute, but we are, as an organization itself, understanding and evolving our understanding of scale up. So, we always knew that scale up is numbers, and, last 3 years in Pratham has been like that. But this is something that we are writing a paper on it, that how, sometimes you need to scale down in terms of scaling up and scaling out, and scaling deep. So this is something that as an organization we are evolving like that. And I mean, we are excited to share our learnings in the future with everyone. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience. Thank you.